What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Wichita Promo Podcast with your host, EKM. I got some special guests in the building. If y'all been paying attention to the podcast, y'all already know my boy Keontray.
How y'all doing?
Yeah,
back in the
episode
building?
1 and 2. Make sure you tap in. But yeah, I got a special guest with me, man, from the Dustin Talks podcast. I got my homie Dustin in here. What's
Dustin
up,
in the
man?
building.
What's up, everybody? I'm doing good. This is great to be here, man. I love this energy. I love what you guys are doing so far, and I mean a big upgrade from what I do. But
Nah, man. Nah, you can't be too humble
Bro,
like that. Like I just said off the camera, man, you had me stumped when we did your podcast. Make sure y'all tune in. We already got an episode in on his podcast. I'm gonna link that below.
What episode is that? Number? Like number? I think I just listened to that. Like number. Yeah, 225. Hey, that's how you know.
It's labeled. It's
I just wanted to point that out, just so you know, bro's like a professional when it comes to this podcast. So,
Yeah.
Just so you know, that was like number 25. That was like a couple months ago. So that's how you know the dice still rolling.
Nah, you're cold with it. You got the questions like down. Like it was official. It felt real. For real, like for sure. So man, like I wanted to ask you what started that? Like how did you decide you wanted to start making a podcast in the first place?
So basically in the beginning, I guess this was during like the COVID time. So like basically all you did was stay at home. You know, I was in school at the time, and then during that time, I mean, we were just forced to go home.
Yeah,
we did online classes, and those were like do it at your own pace now. You know, so like I had free time, and then nobody was dropping music at the time. So I enjoyed listening to music. I played college soccer, I played ball, and then during that time, I didn't have nothing to do. So I was like, what is there to do? And so, I mean, I just stuck with doing some side jobs, get some money during the time, and then also trying to listen to new things. And then on YouTube, I just watched YouTube, and they did a podcast through YouTube, and I just thought that was cool. And I was like, that's really cool, interesting things, like interviewing your friends, basically, and get them to share what they do, what's something that what they do differently from what you do. So I picked that up, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I picked it up towards the end of that COVID year. Picked it up with some friends, and it just started rolling from there. And it was just kind of for fun, just kind of like let's share this and share it to the world, like what we think, and also like what our thoughts are on certain things. You know?
Yeah.
Go off of what people do.
Yeah. Are you a big podcast listener? You listen to a lot of like famous podcasts and stuff?
Be honest with you, I do not. I don't listen to podcasts at all.
Okay, see, I was gonna ask, like, do you have any that like inspired you at all? That were
that was funny.
So like the main one that inspired me, it's like this famous YouTuber, Nigga Higa. He's the one.
Nigga Higa. That's my favorite YouTuber.
It's called Off the Pill Podcast, and I listened to that, and I was like, that's really cool.
Yep.
And then, but like he dropped off.
Bro. Did you watch his YouTube videos back then?
They were fire. That's why I stuck with them. And then when he did that,
and he switched to the podcasting. Yeah. Like I really like that trend, like how we switched up, like so you could just watch him for like instead of just a 15-minute clip of him, you can hear his jokes like for an hour. Bro, it's funny. Like he's naturally funny.
Things. It's called Off the Pill Podcast because that man just
off the pill. I was talking about
rambling off of whatever came to his mind at the moment.
And I think that's why I like Nigga Higa too, because him having ADHD, I had that too. So like seeing somebody like using their ADHD in a creative way was like, oh, it was so dope. Like I can use what I feel like is a disadvantage, actually use it to my advantage in a way. So
yeah. So like when you first started your podcast, did you automatically know you were gonna kind of have this the approach that you have, like you just kind of have on like your friends, people you find interesting, and you just talk? Like there's not necessarily like it's not a comedy podcast or a learning podcast or a this or that. You just vibing. Like, did you always kind of know you were going to do that, or did you start off with like a specific goal in mind? Like for me, for example, like I started off, the first few episodes of this podcast was literally just like, how did you make this song? Yeah. And like now I'm trying to start to just vibe and talk a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think by myself, I introduced it, and then my first official episode was with my friend, and we kind of wanted to talk about just soccer.
I
mean, we just wanted to ramble. Like we know the other podcasts that talk about sports.
Yeah.
So we were big sports heads, and so we were just like, let's talk about sports and see what people think about sports. And then from there, I had a different friend who wasn't that big on sports, but like, he was big on like fixing up cars and fixing up like handyman stuff, you know? And so that's what we did. And so I interviewed him on that. And then it all just like came about because it just like everybody does their own thing. Yeah. And so like I went into like knowing what they do. Like for you guys example, like local amazing rappers, you know, check them out.
Appreciate
but like you guys had rappers, and I was like, all right, let me do some research. Let me like listen to some of your other songs.
Yeah.
Bangers. And I was like, all right, let's see what we went to school together. Boom.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like what came about and how it get started, and just like you said,
Yeah.
I threw you off because it was some research I did, took on my own end to ask you people.
If you had to like somebody asks, what is your podcast? What would you like? How would you describe your podcast?
I would say like a get to know somebody. Like it's not like I would classify it as a learning.
Okay.
You're learning on somebody new.
Yeah, it's like a look into the lives of like somebody you're talking to.
Yeah,
for an
yeah,
hour.
okay.
I feel that.
Yeah,
for sure. So, I guess a lot of them are your homies, so you probably don't. But is there like a favorite episode of yours that you have?
Like True to Earth, down a favorite episode.
Mm-hmm.
I have one. It was with one of my like family friends. Like basically call him my cousin. It's called, his name is Jordan Lee. He's all the way out in Washington, so we were able to like record it over the phone and just kind of have a vibe out. And it was a fun episode. He was funny. He told me some stories that I never heard of before. So I think that was one of my favorite episodes.
I got a question. Who will be your dream? Let's say your podcast blows up, which it will.
Yeah.
So eventually, when it does blow up, who is your dream guest?
Yeah.
My dream guest, I'd want to get Jackie Chan.
Ooh, that'd be fire.
Why Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the life story of what he went through, you know?
Yeah.
Like he did all these action movies, all the martial arts and everything. So he had to learn first martial arts, dealing with all the injuries and stuff.
Yeah.
And also transitioning from being from, I don't want to mess up where he's from, but from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And then coming here to the States and becoming a big known guy here in the States.
Yeah.
And he does all his own stunts?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
like
at
Rush
this
Hour?
age,
You watch
at this
Rush
age
Hour?
now, oh yeah.
That's crazy. He's doing all that himself.
Yeah. You say you started off like really wanting to talk about soccer a lot. Is there like any soccer players you'd like to have on?
Ooh.
Because that'd be dope. Like me personally, the only sport I watch is UFC. But man, if I could get a UFC fighter on, that'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I mean, I never thought about thinking of getting a professional player back on. Like if my dream player, like if I had the chance to interview Leo Messi, you know.
Oh yeah.
I'd interview Leo Messi, you know. That's the dude.
That's the goat. Yeah, the
But,
goat.
like, oh man, I would. Hard question. I'll come back to that one. I'll come back. I'll think about it.
Sidetrack from podcasting. You're a huge football. Should I say call it by proper name? Football. You're a huge football fan.
Yeah.
What position did you play?
So I was a versatile player, so I played basically anywhere, depending on what was needed. You know, I like playing defense.
Yeah.
That's just like my typical position. I don't like running and getting tackled. I'd like to hit somebody.
Yeah, tackle. That little slide tackle.
Yeah. And then when I went to college, I was put up front, and I was like, all right, this is a new thing for me. I'm not getting hit, and let's change the game. So I did that, and basically became a defender up front. So that's what I did.
Who's your favorite football team?
My favorite team I mean, it's stereotypical. I would say FC Barcelona.
No,
It's just the way they play is just really nice, in my opinion. Everyone has their own teams.
Yeah, I won a pretty good amount of money last year on the World Cup. So.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But I was just. I
was gonna ask that. You watch soccer? You watch football?
I was watching it though when I was betting. I'm not gonna lie. This World Cup, I was watching it. I ain't gonna lie, only because I was betting on it. But I would bet on the team that was less likely to lose. But bro, it was winning though. It was crazy. I won some good amount of money. But
that sports betting shit is dangerous.
I gotta give you props, bro. That's a lot of running. Like I don't have the cardio. I don't have the cardio.
Yeah,
oxygen lungs to run like that.
It's insane.
I mean, I still play to this day right now. I mean, it's my legs are sore.
How do you so you train like in the gym? Do you like focus mainly on cardio and legs, or do you focus on your upper body and stuff too?
No, I don't go to the gym. I mean, mainly it's just kind of like I'm not liking it so far.
Oh yeah,
and it's like the stereotypical thing of like, what if someone's recording you on TikTok and you're that guy to check somebody out? I'm not that dude, you know? Yes, I'll look at some people and I'll be like, that's good work. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
But like, if a camera catches me thinking
people gonna take it out of context, bro.
Yeah. So like, I'm stuck there like, I look like the bad guy.
Yeah.
Being a creep.
Sure.
Yeah. Like I'm just trying to get tips. I'm like,
I'm trying to like, let me get my workout in. and trying to look good
Yeah.
to maybe impress you later, you know?
Yeah.
That's different.
Man.
But I haven't hit the gym in a while, but like my typical workout is just kind of just going a walk.
Just run.
And then I play like basically like 2 or 3 times a week, so I get
Yeah.
one game in on the Sunday leagues, and then in the week there's like other games. So
Oh, okay. Oh, so you
Pickup
like
session.
what? It's like I don't know what it's type of name for a league. What type of name? I don't know the name. Nothing.
Yeah.
A Sunday leagues is like the
Yeah,
the
that
thing that's
yeah.
known for like men's soccer.
Okay,
Sunday
okay.
leagues, like if you talk about it around the world, everyone's like, "Oh, you play Sunday league?" It's like just old dudes going at it. You know, at 8 a.m, bro, you see a dude play a game, halftime, they're cracking a beer, smoking their cigs. I'm like, dude, it's 8:30. Like, what are you doing on a Sunday? 8:30 on a Sunday, we're cracking open a beer and smoking a cig. Like,
Like
guys,
forget church.
you're playing defense. You're getting smoked by these 19-year-olds, and you're taking a smoke break. All right, that's crazy.
Man, have you been playing since you were a kid?
Yeah, I picked up playing soccer at like 10, 11 years old, and then after that, I just love playing sports. I love being active and doing a lot of things. You know, I
sure.
play with my homie, and we play basketball a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just picking up other sports
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. You ever been to a professional game like in person?
Yeah.
How's that like?
It's cool.
I'm sure the energy is like unmatched in
the
that arena.
the vibe.
Yeah.
So like the one close town is Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah.
which is it's cool. It's a small stadium, but it's so close to the field, like you feel like you're there.
Oh,
And, like
yeah.
their atmosphere is really nice. Their fan section is really cool. But I really do want to go to like a professional game out in like Europe.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
when
crazy.
That'd be
it's,
crazy. Bro.
like going to that World Cup final would have been
What? But the energy there is just crazy.
That-
I can't imagine
I
what
was
the
like,
price
this-
tag
this-
is on a ticket to that.
no.
Oh,
No,
it's crazy.
yeah,
bro. You definitely paid in money
I mean, but like
to go to that.
it's like the same thing as a Super Bowl. I would go to a Super Bowl game.
Oh,
yeah.
If I had the chance to go to a Super Bowl game, I'd go.
Yeah,
you
that'd
know?
be crazy.
easily.
But, like,
Especially to see the halftime
money,
shows.
The money to go to it though. Am I willing to pay like $500 for
Yeah.
nosebleeds,
Yeah, like
or am I waiting
Yeah,
to
that's-
ball out one day and get like a box?
right.
If I might have to stay home if I'm gonna sit in the nosebleeds.
Yeah, man.
Watching at home is really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you vibe better too. You ain't paying for expensive.
Yeah,
like-
bro. I can wear what I want.
Super Bowl be blowing my mind too, because that shit like ain't that in February? They be
Yeah,
out there in
bro.
the freezing cold in the nosebleeds and shit for all that money.
You
Oh,
taking
come
the
on,
risk.
man.
It either might be cold or it's gonna be really hot. So,
Yeah, that's crazy. But man, where you say you play basketball with your homies a little? Do you ever like play on a team? Anything else other than football?
Like you mean like on a team with?
Yeah, like in school,
sports?
anything like that?
No, I mean basically in schools. I mean you pick up like your high school team, college team, and then you had your clubs. But basketball was kind of pick up for fun with your friends at like the
Yeah, for
gym,
sure.
at the park, or something like that.
yeah, but I actually got a question back off topic of this, but back to podcasting. Would you ever like do a podcast like with one of your parents?
I actually wanted to try that, but like they just get shy. Like
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like I don't know how this came out of me from my parents, but like
Yeah.
I want to get them on because their lives are interesting. Because
Yeah,
I grew up. My dad's Vietnamese, so my mom's Mexican,
Oh,
and I was like, I want to know your guys' journey.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
I know
like
most of
backstory,
it, but
that's-
like I would like to share
Like to
this.
sit down and have a long form content, like
Yeah,
like
I want to share.
talk.
I want to share like
Yeah.
what their how they came to this country, what
Yeah.
they did to get here, and like what was the challenges of doing stuff. Like I have a whole like question just ready to go, list of questions for them. But I mean, I want to save it for the podcast, but I also want to save it for
And
like,
I feel like that would be something good because, like, you know, later on in life, you know, when you're like older, your old age, and unfortunately, they will pass.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, we got no parents past one point, but you like to listen to that with your kids and be like, hey,
Yeah, that's
like
dope.
this is the talk me and your grandfather had when I was younger. You probably can listen to this and take some life advice for yourself.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Man, do you have any like goals for your podcast, like long term and short term? Maybe it might be this year, it might be like far in the future. What are like the goals with the podcast? How do you want it to grow?
So right now, from what I've seen and my analytics, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's a lie, but like they're saying I'm getting maybe like 80 to 90 views or listens
Yeah,
per episode.
that's pretty.
But
That's pretty
it's
solid.
It's a lot, but like in reality, there's like a lot of people telling me they like my stuff,
Yeah,
and I'm counting numbers. I'm like, that's more than 100 right now.
yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's more than the 80, 90 that they're telling me.
Yeah.
So, like, who is listening out besides me? Because like the analytics can show you so much.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And people could be playing the podcast out loud, like at home or something, just playing out. Like when I listen to podcasts, I kind of play it on my TV when I'm like cleaning and stuff. So it's more than just me listening to it. So people could be tuning in that way too.
Yeah, But short-term goal for me is kind of like just kind of for the rest of this year, actually, from here until like December, trying to get once a month. So I already have some people lined out ready to go, but trying to get once a month. Long-term goal, I mean, get this bigger. I mean, hopefully I get a studio set up like this and be able to record. Yeah.
Do you want to get are you planning on doing video too? Because I know like yours is on Spotify, all that. I really wanted to put all my stuff on Spotify, and then I was just like, nah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't know about video. I mean, it's just for me.
It depends. Yeah, I feel like you don't necessarily need it. Every podcast is different. I just wanted to do it on this one specifically because, I mean, first of all, it's with Humble and he's a filmer, so it just made sense. And second of all, it's rappers, and these motherfuckers love attention. So it just seemed right.
Visuals can always help too for clips like it's TikTok.
I put like TikTok clips and stuff like that up.
But people are also like, I see they use like little like
like a little animated
clips.
picture,
animated picture. Somebody driving like a car like GTA. They just driving around, flying. And
it goes crazy.
And they just have like captions following along with what you're saying. You ever put clips up?
Man, I didn't even ever think about that. Those do blow up. Have you ever seen those where it's like somebody driving on GTA and it's just a podcast playing in the background?
I actually watch one that's like that.
Like reels and stuff like you see on like Instagram, Facebook or something like that. I want to get something like that. I want to get visuals like that. Like basically not recording me. Like I want like something like an animated thing that just
that's
like
it
really like we're talking about. Let's just say for example, we're talking about driving a car down the highway. There's an animation video of just a car on a road.
That'd be dope.
But like this, and also I think those videos be captioned like, because like somebody's doing like this one game like that's like trying to drive on a car and go through this hoop. But I was focused on that, but I was also listening to what they're saying. So
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's going through like a little ramp.
But like those work because it's like it grabs your attention visually. Like you're like, oh snap, what's going on with this video? But then what they're saying, you get lost into that too. So now, like I said, it'll build your fan base too.
Yeah, for sure. I think people get hung up on numbers a lot, and they see like the famous podcasts and compare themselves. But we say all the time on this, like, you put 90 people in front of your face, you're going to be a little nervous. That's a lot of people. Like, it really is.
It is. I mean, it is. I mean,
and especially, like, I'll say, too, because we have music uploaded on every platform. YouTube is, like, fairly easy to promote because I can put up, like, my music video link, and everybody's going to click on that, and those views all gain up. Everybody uses a different streaming app, though. Some of my homies use Spotify, some use Apple, some use Tidal. So it's kind of harder to like get views on those specifically. You know what I mean? It's so curated to like specific people.
Yeah, and I mean, like I usually put my visuals too on Facebook, but the reason I do that is because my grandma only uses Facebook.
I feel you.
Like she doesn't know how to use YouTube or anything, so you never know the attitude to attract them by putting everything on every single platform. Because some people typically only use that app. I got friends that only use TikTok. I got a friend that only uses Snapchat.
Yeah, so. I feel that. What I don't even know because, like I said, I thought about putting this podcast on Spotify and everything, but if I'm being honest, like. I pay for the distribution of my music and everything. I'm paying for everybody else's music now. I was like, I'm cool. YouTube free. Yeah. I'm cool. How do you what's the process like distributing your podcast? Just for if anybody's like listening out there and wants to start one up, is there like a website that you go through or something? Yeah. How do you even get it on Spotify and all that?
So I just go through this free app that I found. At first it's called Anchor, but then after that I think they got bought out by Spotify Podcasts. And then using that, I mean, it just helps get it out on all platforms. Yeah. So, I mean, it started off with that little app that recorded and distributed it for me. Yeah. And I was like, this is just fun. I mean, it's free. I can get paid for it sometimes, maybe. Yeah. By throwing in an ad for people to hop on and use it. But after that, I mean, it's easy for me to do that. And I was like, if that's the easy route, I'll take the easy route.
Yeah, for sure. What's it? I ain't gonna lie. Now I just want to know for my own little. What's it look like when you upload something? Like on the screen, is there an easy way to upload like video with it too? Because I know you can have video on Spotify because like the Joe Rogans and all that, they have it. So like I don't know if that's I don't know how easy that it would be to get that up on Spotify.
I think it's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
I'm going off of free.
Yeah,
Like,
I got to do research on that.
yeah, no, it's something I want to think about doing too, but like it's just free for me. So I just upload it and put the title of it, description, episode, season.
For sure.
And when we was on your podcast, you had like a little segment. So for each podcast, do you plan out like based on the guest what type of segment you're going to do, or do you like have like a list of different segments that you just go through randomly for each person?
Elaborate the segment part. What do you mean?
Like you had like a 2-question. Like I had the last guest that had 2 questions. That
was fire.
Oh,
like stuff like that, little different stuff like that.
Gotcha. No, I do. So that what you're talking about is like basically what I get all my guests to do. So like you guys gave a question to the next guest that was on.
Yeah.
And then they answer that question, and then they give another question to the next guest. So I want to like do like a chain of like leading into the next question. Like let's bring back the last episode and then listen to the next episode. For me personally, I mean, I went to school for business, so it was more like, how do you want people to like go back to an old episode, listen to that entire thing? What came about of this question?
Okay.
You know? And then like they listen to that episode. Oh, there was another question they answered before. Let's listen to that episode. So let's say people start listening to your episode 25.
Yeah.
They have to listen to the other
24
episodes.
That's facts. That literally
to be like, what motivated you to ask this question?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's facts. It worked. Smart. When you had us on your podcast, I had listened to like maybe 6-7 of the episodes of like people I recognized from like we went to high school with, because you have a lot of the homies on. Yeah. So I listened to all of those. And then I hadn't heard the one right before us. And then when you asked those questions, when I went home, I had to look it up. I was like, who the fuck came up with that? That was fire. And then I had to watch the next episode too, because I had to see what they said about our questions. So that's smart. That really does work.
Yeah, like that's just for me, for like trying to get more people to listen to like at least 3 episodes at least.
Yeah. You know? Okay. At least, drag them to like they follow along. Like, okay, they asked that. Okay, let me see who the last person was. Okay, let me see who the last person was. Then eventually they do all episodes.
or like listen to what the next episode's gonna be like. Who's gonna answer this question? Because there was one question that was ridiculous. I think it was. I mean, it's gonna be ridiculous, but it was like for you to use your toilet paper, are you like a person that folds or wads? And I was like, that's a funny question. Like, what came about thinking about this? And then I want to know who the next guest is going to answer to this. And I was like, let me plan out who.
But that question is kind of fold or wad. I never thought about.
For those listening, there it is. Are you a folder or a wad type person for your TP?
Let us know in the comments.
But do you fold or wad? Do you fold or wad?
I fold.
Definitely fold.
But
wad is psychotic. That's crazy.
Just grab it and just.
I'm gonna be honest. I think
it's aggressive as hell.
I think I'm both. I think sometimes I'm just like, oh shit, I'm in a rush. So I don't think about fold. I'm just grabbing it.
I'm never in that big of a hurry.
So the person that asked that question, they were like, "Yeah, I have a bidet." And I was like, a bidet.
You got money.
Oh, they got money.
I was like, no, bidets aren't that expensive. You can get one from Amazon for like $20.
Okay,
but I was like, but you're using the toilet water to like shoot.
But I don't know how that
how that feels. I can't. I mean, it's big in Europe. It's big around the world.
Yeah, I know. If you go to Europe, I watch a lot of vloggers, and they, bro, every hotel seems like it got a bidet.
Yeah. We definitely probably the only country that don't do that.
Speaking of like different places, what looks like your dream place to travel?
My dream place, I'd want to take a vacation to Bora Bora. It's just very beautiful, but then also like a real place I want to visit and see stuff would be like I want to go to Austria.
Ooh,
yeah.
Why Austria?
It's just the way they set up their country. It's very nice and very clean, and just all the people are very civil. It's very calm, even though it got conquered. But like, I think that's the reason why it got conquered.
Yeah,
I'm not okay. I could be wrong with my historical facts, but that's what I say, because it's just very beautiful there. Yeah. It's very calm and relaxing. Like you go out there, it looks all ancient and historic. So I'm like, I want to go out there and just
actually, I've never heard
relax. It's a time to relax out there.
They like
that's a unique answer.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah, I like.
I got this. Like a question, like for both of y'all, since you guys do a podcast, you guys talk for long forms of times. Yeah. Would you guys ever think about like streaming?
Man, I want to. I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, technically it's the same, but I mean it's way longer, and people are actually watching you. Giving live,
like live streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do it, but like I think when I see people streaming, it's more like because they're playing video games or they're doing something and talking. And I was like, I can't just be the person that sits there and talk, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I'll be down to do that, but like, I actually want to know like, what am I going to be streaming?
Yeah.
It, you know?
Because technically you could always have people like your friends or something. Just have Hey, we'll have a break time where
like the big like Kai Cenat type streamers where they just chilling
and talking to somebody. Y'all can.
Yeah, I would like to start streaming. I don't really play video games like that, but I would love to be able to set up a Twitch for the rare occasion that I do, just to like make it worth something. You know what I'm saying? But also, I've been wanting to like, I don't know how. The thing about it is, like, a lot of these artists don't understand the grind that it is. They think that because we're musicians, you know what I'm saying? A lot of musicians will disrespect DJs because they don't understand what they do. There's a lot of talent in it. Like, it really takes a lot of fucking work. You know what I mean? Like, these DJs at the club, for example, people think that they just sitting there hit and play on songs, but like they don't realize they took 10 hours of music and chopped it down and made it transition into each other for 3-4 hours. And it's all smooth, and they're like in touch with the crowd, and they know what's gonna pop and what's not. Like, there's a lot to it, you know what I mean? But I would really love to like figure out how to set up some shit where like DJ Fame, he was my third guest. Shout out to DJ Fame. He in Corpus Christi, Texas. And he does a R&B takeover on TikTok that's huge. Like, just hit 100K likes. And he just goes live every day and does like a little DJ set playing R&B music. And every time I see it, like, it's people in there donating and liking it and shit. And every time I see it, I'm like, man, it'd be so dope to do this and just sit here and play Wichita music. You know what I mean? Just sit here and play all the homies and like people donating and shit and just
see what that girl I do that NPC stuff. She making
that's
10 bands
crazy,
a day.
Man.
10 bands a day,
that's
bro.
Crazy. I've been seeing that pop up so much lately, and I'm so confused by what happened. Why is that a thing?
I don't know, bro. But I think people are just
crazy.
bored nowadays, and they just.
Do you have TikTok?
I do not.
It's wild. It's a wild place.
That's why I don't have it.
What app do you use? Like, do you use any social media apps? Like,
I'm mainly on Instagram. Instagram is like my home base.
So do you watch IG Reels?
Yeah, sometimes.
They get a little
funny.
Too.
It's funny. Yeah, it's just basically TikTok that's shared on there, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
I think I don't. I'm like you, but I have TikTok. I'll be honest sometimes, but I think I'll be more on IG Reels, which is like I said, is basically like kind of like TikTok because it's like the same stuff. But
people gonna hate on me for this, and I'll get canceled in the future for this type of shit. But I don't give a fuck, man. I'm gonna say it. My TikTok algorithm is fire, bro. I'll be addicted to TikTok. Every night I'll be sitting there scrolling through that bitch for an hour because it's nothing but like crackheads. I love it, bro. I just got a TikTok that's just a bunch of like crackheads, bro, and it's crazy. I just be having like methed out dudes like looking at the phone like, the CIA shot at me again today, and I just be watching it dying, bro. It's so fun. I love TikTok.
Yeah, no. I would never get TikTok for that reason. I just like I got my time is limited, and I'm like, do I want to waste like 2 or 3 hours on good funny content or like sad emotional stuff? I know the algorithms are there. They make you watch it, like whatever you liked.
Man, have you ever seen Prison Talk?
No.
You never seen prison TikToks? Oh, that's my shit too.
What they be doing?
They all up in my algorithm too, bro. They be making prison look so fun.
Oh, they just. Okay. I think I've seen like little
it's just like the phone set up on their little like on the like the side of the wall of their bunk bed, and it's just a bunch of dudes dancing around, shooting dice, cooking some fucked up food in a bag. But it's crazy.
It's crazy. I be seeing like sometimes they be on live stream. People live streams.
Yeah, from
like,
prison.
How do y'all get this kid? Like, how do y'all be getting away with this, bro?
It's wild.
Like,
I be tuning into them sometimes too. Dudes will go live on TikTok from prison, and they just be in there, and it's a bunch of women commenting, and they just looking like, yeah, shorty, talk to me, yeah. It should be cracking me up.
Oh my God.
TikTok's a phenomenal place. It's terrifying.
That's insane.
You can see some crazy things on there, but at the same time, man, like, TikTok's a terrifying place because you can see anything. But at the same time, bro, like the promotion for like a musician is wild. Like it's so random. Like I'll post up a song there and it'll get 30 views, and then I'll post it up the next day exact the same way. It'll get like 3,000 out of nowhere. The TikTok algorithm just booms sometimes. It's crazy.
Use the right hashtags.
Yeah, it's wild, man. How when you first started your podcast, how did you go about like promoting it and getting people to start listening to it?
So first I actually did it off of Twitter. So I went on Twitter because back then in high school I was like my go-to. I love Twitter.
Yes.
Twitter was like a place where you just
Rest in peace, Twitter.
said,
X
yeah,
now or whatever.
X. I just said whatever I wanted basically, and then like in school they were like, be careful what you say and blah blah blah, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then like in college, now I was through college, like towards the end, I was like, well, I got my job kind of secured, and I was like, all right, well, I can say whatever I want now.
Yeah.
So like I was like, all right, I ran randomly on Twitter, and then after that, like I created this podcast, and I was like, Twitter's my go-to, and that was before before Instagram
Twitter's
for me was like my go-to now.
Yeah, but yeah, Twitter is fire. Bro. I go to Twitter to this very day. What is the like the day-to-day life, since you say you don't be on your phone and stuff like that? So what is your day-to-day life?
My day-to-day life, basically wake up, work, and then plan out my week.
Well, what do you work?
I don't want to talk about it, but it's just kind of like just, I just hustle. That's what I do. I just do my thing, do my like 9 to 5 job, get a paycheck, do what I need to do, pay whatever bills I gotta do.
Fund the podcast.
Fund the podcast. Trying to get that, I mean, gratefully, thankful these guys hopped on for free, and hopefully one of these days when I make it, if I'm making money off of this, I'm splitting it.
Of course, bro.
You got to. Yeah, I'll be telling everybody the same thing. Everybody be asking me about that shit, about that project. That's the main weird question I'm getting. I'm trying to throw together an album right now with that Wichita promo page. And I'm gonna have like 50 Wichita rappers on it just to try to put eyes on the city. Bro, I've got that so much. I've got so many dudes that hit me up like, oh, so it's gonna be on your Spotify? You gonna make the money? Who the fuck making money on? We not making money, bro. Who are y'all lying to? We not out here making money on Spotify like that. And even if I did, like, bro, I'm paying like 10 grand. You know how much money it's gonna cost to put together this project? You and me talked on our episode. We might have even said it on our Dustin Talks episode. Like, man, if you're trying to get a music video and everything, it costs like a fucking $1,000 to get a song out. Really? If you buy the beat, get a music video, distribute it, promote it, everything, you talking at least $1,000. If I'm putting together an album, 10, 15 songs, you do the math. Like, shit. It's crazy. These motherfuckers in my inbox like, oh, you gonna put it on Spotify? Bro, I'm gonna make $4. Stop. It's crazy.
Whole album.
Man, people don't understand all that. But man, I want to talk about I seen you just traveled pretty recently, and I want to talk about that trip. So tell the people, where did you go, first of all?
Which trip?
Whatever the most recent was. Apparently you've been traveling like that.
Yeah, I like to travel. That's just me.
Yeah.
I just like to go out and venture and see new things. And so I think they're probably talking about when I went to Mexico City.
Yeah.
Me and my family went to Mexico. Just kind of.
Is that the first time you've been there?
Yeah, it was the first time I've been there. It was kind of more like just kind of vacation, just be there and see what it's like out there. And it's a whole eye-opening experience because it's like, it's technically not a third world country, but the way they live out there is just so different because everybody has a job, which is like just off the little things, and they get paid so much less. Like so back in my mom's hometown, there's this lady that works just works in the neighborhood, and she makes 500 pesos a week, and here equivalent here is like about 22, 23 bucks.
You said
a week. And all she does is cleaning houses and does what she can. And then it's just like I'm like, I want to make $20 an hour. You know what I mean? Like that's and like for them to make a week and they make a living off of that, they can do that because like everything there is like cheap and it's
the cost of living like
it's a lot less, but like there's a lot of other stuff that's very expensive out there, and some of them can't make it, but they at least make an attempt to hustle and do something. There's people out there, they like outside of candy stores, people would buy a bag of candy and they would sell you like a piece of candy for like maybe like 50 cents. They bought the whole bag for like $3. There's like 100 pieces. They sell you for like 50 cents. They're making some profit to buy another bag and then also have some money for whatever they need to pay.
Mm-hmm.
People out there sweeping the streets. There's like trash people, like when I saw it for the first time, I thought it was really ridiculous because it was like people who collect trash. There's like 4 dudes laying in the back of the bed, like where the press goes, and I'm like, that press doesn't work. And like they just sit there, they go and grab, and they don't like, there's not a machine, so they grab it all by the hands and just tossing it everything in.
Man.
And I was like, that's really crazy.
Man. So did you like do anything on that, like special on that trip that stood out, or was you just kind of like experiencing the culture for a little time?
Experiencing the culture.
Yeah.
And then we went on this like boat ride with my family, which was really cool. And the place is called Xochimilco. It's difficult to spell. I'm not gonna spell it for you. It's ridiculous how it's spelled. Anyways, it was cool because it was just a vibe. Like it was like a whole boat, probably with like 10 seats in it. There's a guy that's pushing like it's like being in a gondola. I don't know if people know what a gondola is. Like in Italy, when like a guy sings to you and like a romantic date.
Okay.
And they're pushing you. They have it like in Las Vegas too, like a knockoff version.
Yeah.
But it's like it was like that. And then like you would go, you see other people going, and like people would bring like their speakers blasting music. There'd be like mariachi bands there performing, making their money. There'd be other people, a band. And so it's just kind of cool being there. And I was like, this is a vibe. Like, I want to come back just for this. It's been a whole day experience. They bring food, snacks, and there's people selling like alcohol. There's people selling food. And I was like, dude, that's really nice.
Yeah. What's since like you travel a lot, what's the funnest place you probably like travel to? Or the best vacation you could say?
Probably my best time. I went out to Guadalajara, Mexico. So I only been to 2 countries. So here in the States and in Mexico. But I went to Guadalajara. Had family out there as well, and just kind of move around. And the city was really cool. Like everything was split up like by industry, you know. So people who sell sporting goods, you go to the sporting side of town. You're looking for tools, you go into the hardware section of the town. Yeah, everything was split up differently for like sections. So I thought it was really
when
weird.
You go travel, how long do y'all like stay out for? Do you go like for like weeks? Or y'all just go for like a couple days?
Kind of like a week.
Oh, that's
not that long, but it's something to get by. Because I mean, traveling there and back is like 2 days out of your.
And you said you're mixed, like Hispanic.
Mexican and Vietnamese.
So are you trilingual?
yeah, I speak all 3.
Oh,
but like my Vietnamese is not the best. I can say the basic and get it by, but more Spanish than.
Have you been out to your? You said your mom is Vietnamese?
My dad.
Your dad? Yeah. Have you been out to your dad's?
I've never been out there. It's just more because how far it is.
Yeah.
And because like you're basically going a whole day of traveling. It's a 24-hour flight, 26-hour flight. And I'm like, I can't. Like you gotta sit in the plane there, and then you gotta like deal with the jet lag. So you're out maybe 4 of the days.
You ever been on a plane, bro?
Bro, I've never. Nah.
Yeah,
the only place I've been to
I thought I remembered
Colorado.
you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 24 hours is long, bro. That's a lot.
It's just like for me, whenever I travel, like 3 hours for me is like, all right, this is like this is long. 3 hours is long. Like sitting there, I'm like, all right, well.
You fall asleep, or you like have a movie or stuff like you like.
Asleep. Yeah, I do all that, and like the worst is like having the feeling like you gotta use the restroom. I'm like, I'm not going to the airplane. I'm not using an airplane restroom, man. These people don't even clean this stuff.
Gonna get some turbulence.
What's the longest you've been on an airplane? Like you had a flight for?
Probably like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I had one for like 4, but that was just off of like.
But
it's a lot, man. I went to Hawaii when I was a kid, and that was like I went from Texas to Hawaii, and it was like a 10 or 12 hour flight or some shit. That was terrible.
Oh my god.
12,
God, man. It don't matter how nice the plane is. That's trash.
Like 10 to 12.
Yeah, that's trash. But at the same time, I be driving all the time. You know me, bro. I've drove to Florida like 7-8 times now. That's like a 24-hour drive. That sucks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Y'all usually drive, or y'all always fly?
We would drive into Mexico because flights there are cheaper to go from Mexico to Mexico.
What's that like? What's the process of going through the border like? I ain't never been out of the country.
It's for a lot of people it's really hard, and then a lot of to come back in it's really difficult. Going into Mexico, just depending on how lucky you are, it's just fast and instant, and you're just into another country. Like
it's like a complete switch. Well, once you cross the border.
Gosh, like you can tell, like from the sidewalks, there's a curb on the road, and then once you go in Mexico, the curb is a little bit higher, but like it's a different color, but also like it's so janky and messed up. Like you can see it's just worn out. Like I don't know, it's a whole transition switch. You look at it and you be like, oh my god, like imagine like being at the border town and you're like, I took a wrong exit. Yeah, I'm in a whole nother country now.
Yeah,
you know.
But you say you went to what? You said 2 different countries.
I've been in Mexico only and here.
Okay. That's 2. Okay, I thought you said a different one.
You travel in the States a lot too?
I try to. I have coming up. I'm actually going to Dallas.
Okay.
Just kind of more for like me and my cousin. We're going to go out to Dallas for like a car show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have family out in Washington State, up in Seattle area. So Seattle's pretty cool.
You're a huge car guy?
No. but like we're just there for like my cousin likes to be there, and I sometimes like seeing cars and car builds and like watching whatever they have shows. So I was like, let's just do this.
What's your dream car?
My dream car?
Yeah.
Ooh, I talked about it on a podcast, and I'm gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, I was saying so the people can hear, honey.
An S14, Nissan S14. Yeah, I mean that's all I know about a car. For me, it just looks cool.
You got a dream car?
Yeah, but mine's just basically like everybody else. I want an all black Tesla. All black Tesla, bro. I really want all black Camaro. Those my two. If I like ever like get $1 million, it was like that's my two big purchases: all black Tesla and all black Camaro.
I feel you. I don't want a car. I just want somebody to drive me. I'm cool.
You get a driver.
I hate driving.
I thought he was about to be like, yeah, let me get a jet.
Man, I hate driving. I don't know what it is. I think Florida did that to me, man. The traffic down there was terrible. That killed it.
Since you like to travel, like, would you purchase a jet if you had?
Man, if you had the money to,
if you had the money,
not?
Hell yeah, what? If it were like someone was like, you want $1 million or do you want a jet? And I was like, I'll take a jet.
Yeah,
like I'll carry my debt with me, but like at least I'm traveling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy for sure. Where would you travel? Because you ain't really traveled. You said,
nah, bro. My dream place is like it's funny, but Africa. I want to go. I want to go to.
That'd be dope.
I'm so bad. I feel bad. I forgot the name. I just talked about it. I forgot the name. I feel bad. But it's this place in Africa that I really want to go. It's like my grandma's talk like our native tribes out there. So I actually kind of want to go out there and see what that's like. Experience the people, get more tap into the culture.
You've been in the States much at all?
Nah, bro, Colorado. And that was only for like a weekend.
I feel you. We're going to change that up, you feel me? We pushing shows. It's going to happen.
You got to travel.
It's going to happen.
Go on tour.
Man, I really want to do like a little tour with some artists, but you know how these artists is. It's so hard to organize everything and get people to take everything serious. Man, I would love to do like a Midwest tour. You know what I mean? We could just get together with the homies, all the like artist homies, and do like Kansas City, Wichita, OKC, Dallas, Austin, Houston, come back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All close drives. Would you? They do podcast tours. Would you ever do like a tour?
Oh, that'd be hard.
What as a
like
podcast?
A live podcast?
You have a live podcast?
So there's someone I know that he does something like that. He's like a traveling guy. He's like he does a segment on his Instagram. It's like a day, or I get to interview. I guess spend one day with somebody in another state.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that's really cool. And I was like, and then when you brought that up, I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Interview one person from that state, you know?
Yeah.
Or, like, let's say like somebody out in freaking Delaware, you know? What's the life here in Delaware?
It'd be like, it's like completely different.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
You know?
Yeah, that's fire.
50 states, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man, I completely just forgot what the fuck I was about to say. I was thinking about that. That would be dope, especially if you started doing it internationally too.
So yeah, I want to do international because I have so when I played college ball, I had a lot of international teammates.
Yeah,
most of them were from Brazil and Spain, but there was like some that were out of the norms. I had a teammate from mine that's from Peru. I mean, love the guy. He's a really cool dude. And then I have another homie that's from South Africa. And I was like, when you brought up you want to go to Africa, I was like, I want to go visit Africa. I mean, South Africa, they speak English there, but then also a lot of the countries in Africa.
They can play football out there too.
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys are cold. And it's really cool. So I'd love to go visit some of those guys again and chop it up and get a podcast out, and so we can have it memorized forever.
Nah, that'd be dope. Like, especially going to country. Like you got different cultures, you know. But I don't think I'm scared about traveling with different cultures. It's the legal rules, bro.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
Like,
you just got to know where you're going. You got to do your research.
We hearing like different like big celebrities going out to different countries getting locked up. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
On some ASAP Rocky. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, ASAP Rocky. I was like, you think of somebody else. Everyone knows of ASAP Rocky.
Oh, but in that the basketball WNBA player.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, bro.
Oh man, she should have known better a little bit too, though. Like, you know, I be smoking, man. I'd never walk into the airport with it in my pocket. Like, you gotta know a little bit. Come on, man. Put that shit away. Yeah, you gotta have your business straight. Just gotta know how to move. But man, where would you travel in the States?
I'd probably go to Cali.
Cali?
Yeah, I know it's difficult, but I really want to go out to California, bro. But like at least I actually go out there. I wouldn't go out there to move because it's too expensive. But like to save up a lot of money and just have a really good trip, do all the things the famous people do out there.
Bro, I think it's so beneficial for people to travel, move, literally anything. Just get outside of your comfort zone and your normal like circles. Like when I moved to Florida, that was such like a harsh change. Like it changed my life in so many ways. Cause like even y'all know me in high school, like I was, if we being real, like I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't the best kid in school. I had some problems with people. I was just doing a bunch of bullshit. And then when I moved to Florida, like there was no choice. Like I couldn't go to Florida and be on some dumb street shit. I'd have got killed immediately. I didn't know nobody there. Like you literally put yourself so far out of your comfort zone going somewhere else like that. You have no choice but to learn and adapt. And like I think it's so important for people to, even if it's just traveling for like a week, like you said, just to put yourself out there and see like other people's perspectives, to show yourself like everyone's life is so different from yours. You know what I'm saying? Like when I moved to Florida, I realized like it truly is like a different culture. Like you go down there and even though it's still in the same country, like just going to Florida, just moving to a different state across the country, people talk different, they act different, like everybody holds themselves different, they work differently. It's weird to see.
Like I think I seen somebody talk about like, I don't know, it was like Kansas, comparing Kansas to New York, and it was like say to here in Kansas.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. People don't like to hear this, bro. I'm born and raised in Wichita myself. I'm here right now. I'm hating on myself saying this. This city is lazy. That's my biggest like the biggest thing that I see about Wichita is just like laziness, man. Like a lot of people talk about there's no opportunity in Wichita, but like when opportunity comes, y'all fumble it.
Yeah.
Like
big time. No, I say because like I agree on you with that because like more on the like athletic side for me personally, like going out to playing out the parks and stuff like that. People would just go and destroy stuff, and it's like lame because like the energy that you're like people are jealous. They want to see you have fun anymore. Like you're playing basketball, they would tag the basketball courts, they would cut the nets or something like that. Bro. The soccer fields, like they would rip up the nets, they tear apart those goals and stuff like that. So it's just like that ruins the fun. Not for me, but like for like let's say like kids,
it doesn't even make sense when all that happens either. Like the pools that got destroyed like a couple months ago. Y'all see that? Somebody like burnt down all the pools in town.
It's like people complaining about
what was the benefit in doing that? Like I don't even understand like what mindset did you have to be in to be like, I'm gonna burn this shit down? Like why? Some umbrellas at the pool? Like, what did you get out of that? It's crazy, bro. Like, the city's so negative sometimes for absolutely no reason. It's baffling. What are we doing?
But I do want to actually get a question back to your podcast because you do have like two other co-hosts.
Oh yeah. You be having. I wanted to ask you that too. Like, you be having co-hosts like filter on. How do you like decide that? Does it change depending on like the guest?
Yeah, so a lot of it changes on the guest. So like I said, I do my research, and then one of the homies I had on, not a typical guy that I get on, but he is big on like local rappers, underground stuff, and he was just based off of the SoundCloud music and just local stuff, and he was mentioning stuff like one of them stuck out to me was like feng shui, something like that. Someone here in Kansas, and I was like, hey bro, you free? You wanna come to the podcast?
Having different people who have like that's smarter in like different areas that you aren't helps like make
for sure.
Podcast more enjoyable because everybody's bringing different knowledge and you learn this stuff too. Like,
no, definitely because like if I'm coming in and I'm doing some research, I'm limited to what I know. So like if I know someone that's more knowledgeable in like, let's just say like, well, in sports. So I have another homie that's a little more smarter in, let's say, like American football. I'm gonna ask him if he's free. He can come on, and I'm gonna like talk to a guy that's played college football, had a chance to play pro, or he's playing pro. So like I want him to come help me talk about like the back and secrets of that, the music industry, some of that. I'll hopefully get one of you guys on as a co-host. Other dudes.
Did you? So I just had this question about the football. Did you? When you were a kid, did you ever want to be like in the like the major leagues? Was that always like a goal?
Hell yeah! What? Like what? Everyone wants to make it, but like, I mean, it's just
like what kind of feel like you like kind of stopped you? You feel like you can.
I mean, the same thing. Like what you guys saying with the music industry, it's just like the exposure for that is not well known here. I mean, you're talking like there's a kid from Wichita that's playing for the Jets, Breece Hall.
Oh yeah.
Breece Hall. he made it because he hustled, he grinded. He went to a school that wasn't well known for football. He changed the program around, and he was playing for a team that's not the best, but they did it. They had a good season last year.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm glad you said that too, because you just said somebody who clearly made it out of Wichita and is successful. I have people tell me all the time that nobody's made it out this city and there's no opportunity and stuff. Yeah, there is. Y'all don't show love to the people that make it. Like opportunities get pushed in front of people here all the time, and they either fumble it, or then when somebody does make it like that, we respond to it with like hate. We don't like acknowledge the people that make it. Bro, we have UFC fighters from Wichita, football players from Wichita.
Somebody just made it to the NBA.
Yeah, NBA player from Wichita. I mean, this city has success. We just don't really tap in with them like that.
I feel like a lot of people, when people are like on the come up, they show love, but I feel like once you make it like the NFL, NBA, or you make it to the big leagues with music or something, they try to discredit you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're not there yet. They're like, how did you make it there? And I'm not. Like, I seen you on the come up. You was just where I was the other day. Now you're this big on. It's like, I feel like it's just jealousy, a lot of envy.
For sure. It'll change though, man. It's just gonna take one person to get to that next level. You know what I mean? We need that one person. I have no clue who it is. Maybe it's one of us. Maybe it's not. We need that one person, whether it's a rapper, an actor, whatever it is, that one person to blow the city up that just takes us to another level. And then people will get that hope and realize like more people can do that. Chill out. You know what I mean? It's so many open spaces. There could be unlimited famous rappers from this city. There's no reason we got to be fighting.
It just takes one person.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, so what is like your goal in life? Like, what do you want to? Do you want to be a big podcaster, or do you want to be a big football player? Like, what do you actually like? When you think about what do you want to do?
That's a good question. Not sure yet. It's still in the loops. A lot of it's just kind of like test runs. So like this podcast is kind of like I did it for fun, and I'm taking it kind of serious, not 100%.
Yeah.
But like it's just more like I'm doing this for fun. I have free time. I have someone interesting I want to talk about, and maybe I want to listen to later, or maybe someone else that can be motivated out of it.
Yeah.
I had an episode where like someone talked about having like problems with their lives growing up, and so like maybe that might influence somebody that's listening to change their mindset and become like that.
Yeah.
So, but me personally, I mean, just still growing. I mean, I'm only just 24 years old. I mean, that seems old, but I mean, my body aches a lot. But I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm always wanting to learn. So
yeah, just as a life, just taking life as it goes right now.
Yeah, taking life as it goes and getting whatever paycheck I can, and trying to invest into seeing other things and seeing other things. That's why I like traveling to see.
Yeah, speaking on, since we talk about music a lot, who are your favorite like artists?
Yeah,
who you be listening to on a like daily?
On a daily.
Ooh. I kind of remember you saying you like a East Coast guy when it comes to hip hop.
So yeah, I like more East Coast. Is more because it's just I picked up on that recently, not recently, but like in the last few years. Off of Hulu, there's the Wu-Tang Saga series. I picked that up and I listened to their music. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then like I've always been a fan of like the ASAP Mob and stuff. Yeah, so that's why my podcast title has that money sign on it.
Okay.
I'm like,
all
right, I'll pick that up. I'll pick that up. And then just kind of after that, a lot of the other guys out there are really good. You know, Davies, Lil TJ, Joey Badass.
Yeah. You like to drive a lot. Do you be going to a lot of concerts too?
No, not for hip hop, but I've been going to a lot of like more Mexican music because my mom likes the music and I like it too. Because I mean, we're cleaning the house and she just has it on the whatever's on the radio.
I bet growing up, there was like because like so you got two different cultures. Like I bet it's been like, how did your parents kind of like adapt? Like how did that work? Like that bit, like do you guys lean more towards your Mexican culture, or do they find a way to balance the mix of the cultures? Or how does that work?
So my dad is big on being the one that cooks for the house.
Okay.
So he cooks all the foods, you know, your typical pho, your sandwiches, banh mi's, your egg rolls, fried rice, fried noodles, whatever you got, whatever you need. Yeah. I don't know the specific names, but I'll say the English titles of it. My mom will sometimes cook. It's delicious foods as well, but like she influenced the hard work side, while my dad influenced the cooking side.
Yeah. So the house is set up like more like your mom has the house more set up. Like her culture, but your dad cooks
Yeah,
it.
we just have like the whole Mexican setup, and my dad just cooks.
And do y'all celebrate like
Vietnamese food?
Like the American culture of like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and all that? Or are you guys?
Yeah, I mean, so in like the Mexican side, we celebrate it normally. Like we just, I mean, have gifts for everybody, so it's the same thing.
Yeah. Is your family like? Are you guys like kind of very religious? Like I feel like like Vietnamese and like Mexicans are two different. Like I feel like they have
two different religions. Yeah. No. I'm more religious with my mom's side's type of religion.
Okay.
And my dad has his religion, but I respect his stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. It's not what I grew up with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that exists, and my grandma is part of that. So
yeah,
like,
you respect that.
Yeah,
for your. But I mean, it had been hard growing up having to choose like.
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah,
one or the other. I was surprised that your parents.
It's very difficult growing up. It's very difficult because like you get tongue twisted between like the words and translations of things, and you got to talk to somebody, and you say one word, but it's you're supposed to say it in a different language.
Yeah.
So learning three growing up was really difficult. But
you grew up here in Wichita too?
So I was born in Salina, Kansas.
Okay.
And then I moved out to Washington State with my Vietnamese side of the family. So I picked up a lot of Vietnamese during those ages, and then like around 8 or 9 years old, I came back here to Kansas, and then just grew from there since then.
What do people confuse? Like, do people like when they try to guess your ethnicity? What do they confuse? Like, do people say you look more Hispanic than you do Vietnamese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like people who don't know who I am, they look at me and they're like, "You're Mexican."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, yeah, we'll take that." And then one time, it's just like the opposite cultures. They'll look at each other and they'll look at me and they'll be like, "You're not Mexican."
Yeah.
So a Mexican came up to me. I remember one time, it was a fun time because I went to my friend's, what was it called? Like a proposal party, wedding party, whatever. And the father-in-law came up to me. He was like, he's all drunk. He's already fucked up. He's already messed up. He pointed at me. He was like, "You're Asian." And I was like, "What? I don't know who you are, but how do you know?" He was like, "You just look like it." And I was like, "Oh my God."
But I actually never knew you were. I never knew you were Vietnamese till today. I've been knowing you for how long. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that interaction right there with my friend's dad. It was like, oh, my friend's father-in-law. It was like, that's funny. That was funny. I was like, wow, this man's drunk off of like 10 shots of tequila, 5 beers, and I'm like,
he got that vibe.
He just came up to me. He laughed in my face. He pointed at me. "You're Asian." And I was like, "That's funny, dude." Yeah.
And do you have any relatives?
Like siblings? Yeah, I got 2 little sisters.
So do they have a quince? Like I know in Hispanic, Mexico, they usually do that.
So we didn't celebrate their quinces because they didn't want to.
Okay.
One of them chose to take a family trip to Cancun, and then the other one, I think we just went to Mexico City.
Yeah.
So that's what that was.
For sure. Man, before we wrap this up, because we almost to the hour mark, I like to ask everybody that come on this podcast if they can, and a lot of people can't, but I feel like you can. You have literally put me on a couple like local things, man. First of all, like you put me on the 20s. The 20s I've tapped in with a few times. The YouTubers, I bought a shirt with them. I got their shirts in my music videos and everything now. You've put me on to like a few things. I can't remember what else. I remember Tim, he fixes phones. I found that out through you. You be putting me on to like local businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
So is there any like, it could be clothing, food, where you get your haircut, literally anything. Any local businesses that you can put people on to here in town?
That's a whole ass episode, dude. Yeah. That's another hour of me talking.
I'm glad that you say that because you'd be shocked, bro. I'm on episode 15.
What I'm wearing now is basically Wichita merch. So this shirt is from a homie. His name is Fidel. He has his line called Alma Negra. It's really dope.
Yeah.
This shirt has quality. I mean, it's not no like Gildan shirt. It's something else.
Yeah, no, I thought you bought that at a store. That's quality.
This is nice. The hat is my homie is my college homie. He did that.
Local stuff on
I get a haircut from A1 Barbershop. Shout out to Zay, Matt, Marlene, Ray, Brian, AJ, Chris, and
shout out to
other people, all the barbers in there.
That's exactly why I asked him, bro. I'm on like episode 15 and like 13 people have been like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't really go anywhere." What do you don't eat? What are you talking about?
But like, it's just about knowing people in your city. Like, I stopped buying clothes of like Nike, Adidas,
yeah,
Polo and stuff
same
because I'm
here.
like, I'd rather go out with my homies' clothes.
Like, really show support.
Because one of it, like I don't. Okay, some of it's trash, but the ones that I do buy are fire.
Yeah.
That's why I bought them.
Yeah.
So
No, yeah, that's dope. You got to send me if they got websites to buy all that. You got to send them to me because I'll cop some myself and I'll put the link in the bio and everything.
they're affordable too, man. I don't know why people sleep on.
Yeah.
People doubt on buying a $20 shirt to like a polo for like $70, you know, or
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're just trying to get it for the name to make it seem like they got money.
Yeah. I've been on the same thing, man. I've been trying to buy nothing but local lately. Everybody be telling me like, oh, you got to buy a chain. You got to get this and that because I don't got the image of like the rapper. You know what I'm saying? But
if it's a local
I like
chain,
Yeah, if a local chain.
I like my music videos, bro. Oh, you've seen all my music videos lately. It's been in local stuff. I got a Earn It shirt on, a 20 shirt or whatever. Like I'm trying to keep it all local. I like that. It's cool. And these like artists and stuff don't realize too, when you do that, like now, like as selfish as this sounds, like clearly I'm helping them too because I bought a t-shirt from them. I'm promoting them. I'm talking about them right now. But like, let's say the 20s, for example, I wore their shirt in my Player music video and then they shared the Player music video. These artists don't understand.
And
like you tap in with them, they'll tap in with you.
they got like 1,000 some
You feel me?
followers.
Yeah.
So like that's 1,000 more followers for you.
Right,
to
man.
go see your stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense that everybody in town don't do that. All these music videos, I look y'all and it's stupid. Tap in with your local brands. It's free promotion, bro. It just makes sense. It's right there in front of you. But yeah, man, I guess to wrap this up, is there anything you want to promote at all? Your podcast, anything at all? Your homies' brands? Because clearly you know all of them. You got a lot.
I mean, I share every once in a while on my Instagram. Obviously, when someone promotes something, I share it. I mean, you can follow my podcast on any platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anything you can listen to a podcast on.
Yeah.
Dustin Talks, DU, and then there's a $10 and then Talks.
Yeah. We gon' link it and everything below.
All right, they'll
You
link
already
it.
know.
Make sure it's faster.
Yeah, man. I think that's it. You got any other questions, man?
Was anything like any motivational quote or anything you wanna give to the people that's probably feeling down out there?
Motivational quote. I mean, for me, who are you?
I like that.
He quick with it, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. He humble because he don't admit it, but he quick with this podcast stuff. I noticed too. He put up an episode that was just him, and I was like, oh, that's terrifying. I'm cool. I can't do that. That's a skill. Nah, that's crazy. But yeah, man. I think that's it. If y'all don't got anything else, I'll go ahead and promote. First of all, like we said, check out Dustin Talks on all platforms that you can find a podcast. We're gonna link it below. Also, my boy Keontray keep dropping music, so make sure you tap in, man. He got all these music videos been
dropped a
dropping.
new video bringing it back.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get that.
He just dropped a new video bringing it back. He just dropped a new video Son. He just dropped a new video Trauma. He just dropped a new video Freestyle Part 1, 2 and 3. He just dropped a lot.
Yep.
So yeah, tap in with my boy. And he doing videos now and they crazy. So tap in. We gonna link his video thing below too. It's The City on YouTube. THA City. Hard music videos.
Video just hit me.
Yeah. So make sure y'all tap in with your city. And yeah, with that being said, that was another episode of the Wichita Promo Podcast. Appreciate y'all for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Peace.